CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good Sunday morning. Happy Easter, everybody. Welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Karen Greer. This morning, we're going to talk about a subject near and not so dear to many of us, obesity. And we're going to start with some numbers right now. Stateofobesity.org says the Georgia obesity rate was 31.4% in 2016. That ranked 20th in the nation. Now compare that to 20.6% in 2000 and 10.1% in 1990. Rates, as you can see, are trending up across the United States. So let's get the conversation started. My guest right now, Elise Sarter, outpatient dietitian at Northside Hospital. Welcome you to our discussion this morning. Georgia's population, as it grows, it looks like so does the size of the citizens. What are we doing to combat some of the obesity?
We are educating the public as much as we can, and we're definitely continuing to research obesity and better ways to treat it.
Let's start with what makes someone obese. Where does this whole thing start?
So overweight, obesity, and morbid obesity are technically classifications on the BMI scale. BMI means body mass index, and it's calculated using just your height and your weight. Over 25 is technically overweight, over 30 is technically obese, and over 40 is technically morbidly obese. What BMI is it's really a red flag for your healthcare team to check in with you and see what your risk of weight-related chronic diseases is going to be. Keep in mind that if you're an athlete with a high muscle mass and a low percent of body fat, it may not be accurate for you.
Oh, that's what I am. I'm an athlete. It's not accurate for me. So basically, I mean, what I've learned is your risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, some of those things are just right there when you are obese. And you really stand more of a risk the longer you let this go unchecked.
Yes, your risk of diabetes is actually double once you're overweight compared to a healthy weight.
Now, I have a friend who's a physician, who's a doctor over at Morehouse School of Medicine, and she likes to say it's not your weight, it's your waist. So do you think, looking at some of these pictures with these people with these kind of big bellies, your waist can be a first factor of showing you something may be wrong?
Yeah, that can be true. Your waist is important to pay attention to because that's what we call central obesity, and that fat is deposited around your organs and can be especially dangerous for many of those chronic diseases that we associate with obesity. So diabetes, heart disease, and many more.
And the longer we know that we're a little overweight, a little heavy, a little pudgy, you know, a little thick, as some like to call it, the longer we let that go unchecked, that is when those risks can be really huge. You talk about diabetes and blood pressure, but stroke, risk of stroke, and some other cancers, health conditions we found?
Yes, certain GI cancers especially, and definitely high blood pressure and stroke are associated with obesity as well. Some others are osteoarthritis and gout, and some breathing disorders like sleep apnea.
Oh, wow. So that's a big issue with your weight as well.
Yes.
Now, we talk about gender and race. We're going to put another graphic on the screen for you right now. Look at this. This is Georgia's obesity by race. 28% in whites, 37.7% in blacks, 28.4% in Latinos. Those are the biggest communities really hit. Will we say diet has a big role to play in this?
Diet definitely has a big role to play, but there's also other issues like food insecurity, which means you may not have consistent access to healthy and safe and socially acceptable food. And there's also some differences in health literacy, which means you may not have the information you need early enough to make decisions that are informed about your health and to intervene early.
And getting to doctors, is that something you notice a lot of people just don't do? They don't go to the doctor.
That's true, and it might be an issue of access, but it also might be an issue of not putting your health first. We definitely, especially if you are the breadwinner in a family or if you are a single parent, it can be really hard to prioritize your needs, and we need to intervene early. It's a lot easier to prevent weight gain than it is to lose a lot of excess weight.
And at least as the women, we know we take care of everybody else in the family, the kids, the husband, the mother, you know, our parents. we've got to take time to take care of ourselves.
We have to. It's critical.
Yeah, and you help patients usually come up with a diet and exercise plan. Is that part of what you do at Northside?
Yes, so we think about permanent weight loss, and we think about total lifestyle changes. So we do definitely focus on some dietary shifts you can make, but then we're going to make goals that are personalized to you and to your lifestyle and to your life and family and everything, so that we can continue to lose weight and keep it off permanently.
Okay, we're going to discuss how you're planning to do that when we come back. Elise is staying with us. We're going to talk about treating obesity when Public Affairs on Peach returns.